welcome to today's video. So my name is Chineo Seiji, and today is going to be a walkthrough of my YouTube content planner. So I'm essentially going to show you how I plan out my videos. I created this planner because when I do my YouTube videos, I really wanted a place to be able to work and script out my videos, think through concepts, and make sure to just plan out my whole calendar. And honestly, I'm just sick and tired of subscription services taking all of my money. So I just figured I would create something for myself. I have 10 years of experience in finance, and a lot of that is spent in spreadsheets. So I consider myself pretty much a bit of a guru, honestly. So I figured, why not create something? So here it is. You can find this in the link down below. I will put it in my description box so you can find it. And if you have any questions outside of the tutorial, feel free to drop them in the comments. As I see them, I will try to answer them as best as I can. And if need be, if the comments warrant it, I have no problem doing a follow-up video. So let's go ahead and get started. So when you first open the planner, you will start with the how-to file or sheet. And it essentially it's pretty much a walkthrough of everything that you need to do to get started. I'm going to go ahead and skip this because that's what I'm here for. So we can skip that. Next, we have our setup. So on the setup tab, I'm pretty much showing you all of the things that you need to input about your channel and what your content you're producing. That will help essentially run your the other sheets. So we're just going to go and do a walkthrough through that. It is starting to rain, so hopefully you cannot hear the thunder. I am in Georgia, so anyone who lives here knows that the thunderstorms can be pretty ridiculous. So hopefully, number one, the power does not go out, and number two, that you cannot hear it and it does not get too loud. So anyway, let's get started. So the first thing you want to do is put your channel name. And this does not run anything, so if you leave it blank, it's fine. But for those, especially those who are starting up new, these are things that you're going to have to think about and create because when you set up your YouTube account. Again, these are things that you're going to have to put in anyway, so might as well think through that process. So go ahead. I'm going to put my business name. Let's think about this. 1, 2, 3, fitness. Yeah, we're just going to throw something together. My target audience. So the target audience, if you've grabbed my ebook on how to create the essential guide to social media content strategy, I do walk through target audience, being able to understand your target audiences and audience personas. So for more detail, you can go and grab that. I will also go ahead and put that in the link down below. But for right now, I've kind of gotten I put some things together just so that this example goes pretty smoothly. Your target audience is essentially, who are you talking to? Who are the people that are most likely going to come to your channel and watch your channel and stay to watch your whole video and possibly subscribe to your channel, and they are your core audience. And you really want to know and understand who these people are, not literally who they are exactly, but the sort of general commonalities of who your audience is and why they're on your channel. And that's going to help you direct your content and where your content goes, and make sure that when you're creating content and you're generating content ideas, that you're talking to your audience that is most likely going to stick around, and make sure that they're, tuned in and dialed in and engaging with you. So for this particular one, and I should say, this is awesome. I've kind of created this fictitious fitness channel thing for the sake or purpose of this video, so that we've got content to play with and work with. So for this particular one, I've done 1, 2, 3 fitness babe. We're just kind of making things up. And for my specific audience, I've decided that I want to target women like myself, mid to late 30s, 40s, whatever, target audience. So the next thing I want to think about is who would most likely watch my channel and who are these people. So I've come up with a couple of different personas, audience personas, that I'm going to go ahead and use. So the first one I call Betty May Beginner. And the way I think about Betty May is she is very new to the gym. She does not know what's going on, how to happen. She just knows that she wants to lose weight and get fit and feel better and look better. And so she's a brand new beginner. And so for her, when she's approaching fitness or when I'm creating content and I think about, well, what does Betty May need? I'm going to create content specifically for a beginner. So that means I'm not using a whole bunch of acronyms. I'm not saying stuff like macro without explaining what a macro is. I'm going to literally take her hand when I create my content and walk her through the whole entire thing so that she's not confused. So my next persona I'm going to call Bad Knees Nancy. So Bad Knees Nancy, she is, again, similar age range as me, 35, 40, whatever the case may be. She grew up in the 90s, listening to Juvenile, Drop It Like It's Hot. Her knees have been doing some work, and now she's feeling it. So she's like, hey, I know you're doing all these exercises, you're squatting, you're doing all this running around, plyometrics, but listen, baby, my knees hurt. So I'm gonna need you to calm it down, and I'm gonna need you to give me something that I can do for these knees. So I'm gonna have and create content specifically to help Nancy. So if I'm doing a whole lot of jump work or whatever the case may be, I'm gonna make sure I have modifiers for Nancy. Say if she's got bad knees, here's what she can do. I may even create content specifically for like alternate exercises, specifically for the Nancys that are watching my channel. So there's Bad Knees Nancy. The next person I have is Super Steps Susie. So with Super Step Susie, she's one of those people who's got a supplement closet, and she's got a ton of supplements. And she's like, listen, I read a magazine and they said ashwagandha was great, so I decided to buy it. And they said, you know, I can get, you know, I don't know, what's a supplement? Creatine, and I need to get this supplement and that supplement. So she's got this whole closet full of supplements. But one thing we know is that you cannot out-supplement a bad diet. You cannot out-supplement a lack of training. You can't just take supplements and then think that you don't have to do anything else, or, you know, think about the ramifications of how these supplements even work together. So for my particular fitness project or program, when I do supplement content, and I just realized I probably jumped the gun a little bit. I probably should have started at the little farther down, but that's okay. We'll work through it. So that's where I'm going to create supplement content specifically to address Super Step Susie and all of her whole entire supplement closet. She is a bit of a supplement junkie. And then the last target audience persona that I'm going to create is, I'm going to call it Stressed Out Susie. Actually, no, I did not call her. I'm going to call it Stressed Out Shanika. So Shanika is a high power corporate lawyer. She has the weight of the world on her shoulders. She works super long hours. She's always stressed out. She barely gets any sleep, and forget about trying to do any extensive cooking. She's like, listen, I eat when I can, and it's usually at my desk, and someone usually brought it to me in a paper bag or something. I ain't got time for that. So I just know that I need to lose weight because I'm starting to feel it. And honestly, I've been running on a treadmill and I don't see any results. So we're going to also create content for Stressed Out Shanika, realizing that, you know, stress and the interplay that has on the body and fitness. So with that in mind, let's quickly jump down a little bit to my niches. So your niches are really going to inform your target audience. Your niche is essentially what field you're in, what industry you're in. So obviously that, I don't think I need to explain why you need to know what industry you're in before you go to your target audience. If you need help with that, if you need ideas, if you're like, hey, I want to create content, but I don't know what content I want to play in, go and check out my website. I also create content, handouts around that. I've got a lot of free stuff once you sign up for my email, where I send you like different niche ideas and really go in on like ideation stuff. That's really my heart and soul. I love ideating. So if you actually want to do any kind of one-on-one consulting with me, you can also do that as well, or you can just get the ebook, or follow me on TikTok, where I will be going live. And I also just kind of do like hints and stuff like that. Whatever. Anyway, you can find me over there. So let's talk about niches and the channel that I'm going to create. So for this particular example, it is a health and fitness channel. So the niches that I wanted to play in are fitness, nutrition, supplements, sleep, because for those who are unaware, sleep does have a major impact in the quality of your exercise, the quality of your workout and your training, how your body works, and that kind of thing. So, and stress. So we'll also talk about stress management, because ultimately they all go together. So this particular example, I'm talking about complementary niches. You could even, if you're like really wanting to go super in depth with your content, you could probably just click one of them or two of them, because honestly, you can't really do fitness without nutrition, honestly. You could probably skip the other three, but when you're talking about niching, and I'll probably create a video about this also, about this notion of whether or not you should niche, symbiotic niching, or complementary versus, or subordinate versus dominant niching. Again, that's in my ebook. For more details on that, you can go grab that. For the sake of this video and the content in this video and how long it's probably already going to be, I won't go into it. But for this particular example, we took a broader health and fitness approach. And so these are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 niches that we're going to cover. I'm just going to go ahead and delete these other ones. We don't need them. Feel free to delete them if you don't need them when you input your content in your content calendar. So the next thing we think about is content pillars. So when I talk about content pillars, and I want you to think about the types of content that you're creating. How do I put it? It's always hard to find the right word for it, but think about, like, if you go on a fitness channel, you know that there are certain things that you're going to expect. So you're going to expect workouts. You're going to expect probably meal prep. You're going to expect maybe day in the life type of content. You have an idea of what you're typically going to see. If you're going on a fashion channel, you typically are going to see hauls. You might see styling videos. You might see someone talking about trends and runways, depending on the type of fashion content it is. So that's what we mean by content types, or that kind of thing. So for this particular one, when we talk about these different 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 niches, we can then sort of go down deeper and talk about content pillars. So for fitness, for the sake, I've got workouts, I've got athletic gear. For nutrition, I'll add meal prep. Maybe we'll do some full day of eating content on my channel. For supplements, I'll probably do supplement reviews. For sleep, I'll do sleep hygiene. Hygiene, new product reviews / tips. And then for that might be super long. I'll just call it sleep hygiene. And I'll show you why it's might be a little long when we get to that part. Self-care routine. And then, for self-care routine, that will be under stress or stress management. And then maybe local self-care providers. Let's call it local provider. Well, let's see. Local providers. And then at home self-care. All right, and I'll go ahead and just delete this. So basically, these are the types of content I'm going to be creating. So for fitness, I'll be doing workout videos. You'll watch me do some workouts. I'll create workout routines, that kind of thing for that. For athletic gear, I'll probably do hauls for, gear or shopping. If I buy new weights or any kind of new machinery, I'll do like a review or haul video for that type of content. Meal prep, that's self-explanatory. You'll see me prep my meals for the week. Full day of eating. It might be, I'll show you essentially everything that I ate for that day. And I think that'll be something like, if you're going out and about, maybe I meal prep only dinner, and then I'll show you what I eat for breakfast and lunch and how to navigate. So that's kind of a big thing in the fitness niche. Supplement reviews. So if there's like, hey, everyone's talking about, hey, go get your creatine, I'll probably do a review where I talk about what is creatine, how does it work in the body, when you should take it, how you should take it, should you be taking it. Sleep hygiene. Sleep hygiene is essentially like how you're sleeping or how you're getting ready for sleep. And so in this type of content, I might do like new products or products that are said to help you sleep. So melatonin, should you take it? Well, that might be more of a supplement. It's those are two together. But there have been studies that show like if you get like sleep masks. So I might do something where I'll do wearing a sleep mask for a week. Does that help me sleep better? Or blue light blocking glasses. Does that help me sleep? Stuff like that. Next one is self-care routine. So in those videos, I'll probably do like, what does my self-care routine look like for this week? Like a week of self-care. So self-care might be, hey, I did an Epsom salt bath on Monday. On Tuesday, I went and got a massage. On Wednesdays, I do sauna. Thursdays, I do, I don't know, lymphatic drainage massage. I don't know. So self-care routine, what does that look like? Type of video. Stress local provider. So this one, I would do videos and go to the local spots that do different things. So like there's like places where they do cryotherapy. Is that what it's called? Cryotherapy. There are places that do magnesium float. They're like magnesium float places. There are places that do just sauna. So maybe I'd just pick a day and maybe I'd go to one of them and show y'all what it is and what it looks like and how do they have one in your area, blah, blah, blah. What does that look like? So stress local providers and then at home care. So if you've got, there's like, you can get like at home portable steam saunas. So maybe do some reviews and product stuff for those. So that's what I was thinking for this particular content. So this, I just wanted to show what this would look like for a platform that does multiple niches and what that would look like when you're inputting that kind of information. So the next thing I need to input here are the steps for these particular videos. So I'm going to go ahead and do that off camera because it's going to take forever. I do have a file where I can just copy and paste it. So I'm going to put y'all on pause and I'm going to go ahead and put that in the file. So hold off 1 second. Okay, so I have finished copying and pasting that into the file. So we'll just go ahead and do a quick review of what I put in here, and then we can go to the next step. And we'll talk about why I did it the way that I did. So the first thing I want to make sure that you're kind of understand is that the task list isn't just for the day of filming. It's literally anything that you have to do to prep for that filming. A lot of people don't fully understand that there's a lot of prep work that happens when you're creating content. There's a lot of pre-planning. There's a lot of setup that needs to happen and needs to go on. There's a lot of testing that needs to happen as well. So those are the types of tasks that you want to make sure that you're doing. And you'll notice that when you're talking about your content pillars, you'll notice that the tasks are pretty similar for that particular content pillar. There might be some changes or differences, but for the most part, you're going to have the same or similar setup. So let's just talk about it. So for workouts, I put, you'll have to first create the workout routine that you're going to do. You need to pull the gear that you're going to need. So if you're doing a weighted workout, you'll need to pull out your weights and make sure that those are in frame and in camera. If you're doing some plyometric stuff, maybe you're doing some jump training with jump boxes or wall balls or any kind of CrossFit type of stuff, you'll need to pull that gear and make sure that you have it. Then you might want to pick out your outfit, make sure, maybe test it out a little bit, make sure you're not showing any skin or your tights are squat proof, whatever you need to do for that. Then you need to set up your camera, make sure that you're in frame as you're doing your workout. So you might want to test out a little bit to make sure that you're in frame as you're doing your workout. Because the last thing you want to do, and I totally understand this, is you go and you just jump right in and you forget to check. And then when you go to actually do the editing, you realize that half the time you're not in frame or whatever the case may be. So yeah, set up your camera. Then you do your actual filming, your actual editing, then your description. My apologies about that. Those are my neighbors. You want to edit, write your description, do your upload and your schedule. Actually, for this one, especially if you have to do any gear, you probably would also, now that I'm thinking about it, you might want to go, actually, let's do it this way, and grab any affiliate links. Again, if you're trying to do content creating full time, you need to figure out your monetization strategy. I will create videos about that. But for right now, we'll just talk about, just put it in there. Make sure you've got your links if they're available. So then let's talk about the athletic gear one. So for this one, this is really like a review. You're trying out new equipment. So you better have some affiliate links in there. Where'd you find it? Can you link folks to it? That kind of thing. You want to order that gear, pre-film your unboxing. By pre-filming, I just mean you'll, depending on how big it is actually, you might show you actually unboxing it out, maybe setting it up, that kind of thing. If you like bought a treadmill, you'll obviously have to put that together. If you bought like a squat rack machine, whatever the case may be, you want to film that. I don't know why I call it pre-film. Anyway, then you want to film you actually testing the gear out. Then you want to go back. If you're scripting, you want to do that. You can go in and script that review if you want to just, if you want to like do it immediately after without scripting, then that's again, this is an example. So cool. Then you film your review, you do your edit, description, upload, schedule. For meal prep, you want to create your menu, calculate the macros for those meals, because the last thing you want to do is try to figure that out while you're doing it, because that will require a lot of starting and stopping. Calculate your macros, film your grocery shopping, film your grocery haul, film you cooking and prepping and packing. Then you do your edit, your description, your upload, and then your schedule. Depending on how you do this, you might not need it. It depends on you. If you maybe do your grocery shopping on Monday and then you probably won't get to cook and get it until Tuesday, then of course you maybe have those separately. But if you're doing that all in one go, then maybe you wouldn't need them in 3 different lines. Actually, well, yeah, you wouldn't need them in 3 different lines. I put filming, cooking, and packing because you better be doing, hopefully you're doing that the same day. Again, I don't know. Then you can pause the video and go look at everything else. I don't want to take too much time on this other stuff, but just browsing through here, again, some of the things to mention, affiliate links. If you need to do any kind of scripting, there's spots to do that. Not always do you need to do scripting, but again, it depends on you. This is the place where you want to really think about all of the little details that go into creating content. So for example, the stress local providers, looking at stress management, looking at visiting local providers. So for this one, you need to select your location. But if you're talking about doing actual filming in someone's spot, you might need to call ahead and ask the manager and see if they, will even allow that. Do they want to be on camera? Do they want to do a walkthrough? That kind of thing. Maybe you then add it to your calendar. You want to pack your vlogging kit. Make sure you don't forget anything. But those are the types of things that you want to remember and put on your to-do list. Self-care routine, for example. Plan out your B-roll. Make sure that you know the side shots or the extra shots that will help make your content even better, and just plan that out beforehand so that you're not doing it on the fly, because trust me, when you have a lot of content to create, you are going to forget something. So this is really there to help you not forget. All right. We'll just run through this other stuff real quick. I've got your status here. So so that you can see where you are in your planning. Typically, again, I talk about this in my ebook. You want to batch create stuff. So in all likelihood, if you've got a couple of things that need to be ordered, for example, it would behoove you to make sure you know that what you need to order for maybe all of your videos that you plan out for July, so you can just go ahead and order those all together. And so that way you're not like jumping between tasks. That's really kind of annoying. If you have one setup, but that's an unboxing, then maybe you film all of your unboxing videos at the same time. So if you're doing an athletic gear unboxing and then you're doing a self-care routine unboxing, even though those are two separate videos, they have the same setup. So why not just keep your camera where it is, unbox one thing, finish that, set aside, then unbox the other thing before you then go switch up your camera settings or go to start filming. That's just the power of batching to help you get things done quicker. If you have to unbox and then switch it up and go edit and then come back and do another unboxing and then go edit, that will really break up your process and it will make it harder for you to create content. Trust me. Okay. So going back to status, that just helps you to keep track of where you are with each of your videos. And I'll talk about where this appears later on, because again, this is all just set up. So we'll talk about the other stuff and where it goes later. All right. Purpose, again, some of your things are going to be obvious, like entertaining. If you're doing like vlogs and stuff like that, it might be entertaining. This is just kind of to help you, again, think about the mood that you want to set as you're creating content and what the purpose is for that particular piece of content. It's really going to help you as you're scripting to think about the why behind what you're creating. And that will make sure that when you're scripting, you're really tying back to that why of that piece of content. All right, so jumping back up here really quickly, the channel description. I think of the channel description on this page. Number one, that there is a section in YouTube where you can put what your content or channel is about. But I would also think about using this as sort of like your boilerplate. So what I mean by that is there are certain things that are just automatically, they go in your description. Like you're just always going to put them in your description. Maybe if you have like any of your other social media type of things, your other social media tags, or maybe if you've got like standard questions that people ask you, a lot of times people might ask you, what kind of camera do you use? It's so great. You just have those standard links that you always put in all of your content. So you could use that and just put that here, or you could literally, if you're doing planning, so if you're brand new and you're just starting out and you haven't even created your content yet or your YouTube channel yet, this could be your place to just kind of sketch out like what it is that you do before you really kind of dive deeper in. And then the last thing I have over here is similar channels. Again, go check out that ebook. I go into more depths about this and the why behind it. But again, it helps you to think about what other people are operating in that niche. It's not just about, because it's really not, I don't really want to call it competitors. I call it competitors in my ebook, but it's about understanding your niche. Like who else is in here? What type of content do they create? How are you going to set yourself apart? How is it, or are there things that you want to, that are similar? Like I mentioned earlier before, if you look at any kind of fitness channel, they're just standard things you are going to expect. So those are things that you want to think about with that. So once you have all of this set up, we can then go to the next step. Well, actually, before we get there, we'll talk about some of this other stuff and what is necessary for you to fill out immediately and what's not. So this one, to get the full benefit of the planner, you need to get this set up. Branding, you don't need to get it set up, but if you're a newbie, especially if you're a newbie and you're like planning it out, this is where you can kind of put all of that information and think about what you want your brand to show up as. In my ebook, I touch on this stuff. I don't go too in depth of it because honestly, branding can be a whole book on its own. So I don't go too much, but we do touch on certain things like this. And I do have some worksheets that to help you sort of think about how do you want to show up for your brand. So it might be here, you can think about your font that you want to use, any of your color palette that you want. As if you notice in all of my content, I use blacks, grays, and then I have that yellow color that kind of flows through my logo. Those would be my brand colors. And so you can see that and say, hey, that's her brand. That's her stuff. That's her. You want to think about your mission, what it is that you're trying to do. Is there a particular thing that you really want to just kind of hone in on and you want that to be your thing? So your mission, your vision, and your values. taglines or slogans that are important to you or that you want to be interwoven into your content. This is really more so for people, especially if you've got like a business or something like that, or you're trying to develop if you're trying to develop a business, maybe somewhat if you have a personal brand, but mostly if you have a business, that'll be a thing. And then your brand personality, voice, and tone. Do you want your content to be more formal? Like maybe if you're, I don't know, a business person, or you're in finance, which again, I'm in finance, so that doesn't really tell me much of anything. But like depends if you want your brand to be more formal, if you want it to be more silly and playful, if you want it to be more techie. In the ebook, I have a whole list of adjectives and stuff to help you kind of really think about and plan all this stuff. So for right now, it's not necessary. It does not impact anything else. But as you're creating your content, or as you're creating your channel, especially if you're new, these are things that you want to think about, especially before you create your content. You don't want to go in there creating content. Well, you could, but creating content and then going back here and saying, you know what, I really prefer a more polished tone, or you know what, that video that I did was way too serious. I really want to tone it down and have a bit more fun on my channel. Those types of things. All right. Over here is where I keep the idea log. And in this idea log, you again, just where it is, idea bank, I should say, where you keep your ideas. Maybe you're out and about, an idea comes to you. Do you grab your phone? I know oftentimes you might grab your phone and just put it in a note. Maybe you scribble it down on a sheet of paper, and all of a sudden you've got pieces of paper with different ideas all over the place. This is where you have it all in one place. Again, it's a Google Sheet, so you always have access to it on your phone, so you know where to put it. But then this is where you can type your ideas and just have them all there. So if every time you're planning out your videos, you can go back to your idea bank and you have a place to put it. So I just put a working title. New workout bench, maybe, what's this supplement that people are raving about? Should you take, why is my brain going blank? L-carnitine supplement. All right, we'll just put 2 in there. So this would be in the supplements one, and this one would be in the fitness niche. And then your content pillars, this would be in athletic gear, and this one is in supplement reviews. You'll notice those red things. So since those were pre-filled already, they'll be red when I change my niche. Just go ahead and pull the drop down, and your new stuff that you just entered in will be in there, and you'll be fine. Don't worry about it. Nothing to be worked up about. And then any kind of notes that you want to talk about in here. You might, for example, have heard notes. If you go into my ebook, crap, I'm so sorry. I have a place where I talk about ideas and ideation. So one of the ideas was about going into like your comment section or the comment section of your competitors and just looking at the questions that they ask. So for this one, L-carnitine, for example, you might have seen that in someone's comments. And one of the questions is, when should you take it? What is the proper dosage? Someone might ask, someone heard about side effects. All right, so those are just like random notes that you want to make sure that as you're scripting, you talk about in your script. Again, this does not link anywhere, so if you don't have any ideas at the moment, that's fine. But it's here for you to plan it out and put your thoughts in there so that you don't lose them. All right, next is your affiliate links. This is where you're going to store them. This does link to your actual, where you actually post or plan out your post. But it doesn't, if you don't have any affiliate links, it doesn't break anything. So I've just got like affiliate link 1, web 1, website 1, and then link code, whatever. Then any kind of notes that you may have. If you are applying for affiliate links, you can like track your progress here. Sometimes there's a gap between when you apply to join an affiliate program and when you're accepted. And then sometimes they might require some kind of setup. Just depends. Like, for example, they might ask you for like your PayPal and maybe you got to set that up or whatever. So you can kind of track that here, whether you've applied, whether you've accepted, any kind of stuff, whether they have accepted you and that kind of stuff. So that's all here for you. I'll just do supplement company ABC, and this is workout clothing line, and you've got whatever, and I have the link here, www.workoutclothes.com. I don't even know if that's a real thing. And then that supersubs.com. Cool. Great. I've applied, I've accepted, and I've set up. Cool beans. We're all good here. Great. Next, we'll go to the tracker. So here, this is for your benefit, for you to track your own progress. I know there are places where you can see that information in actual YouTube and stuff like that. But this is for you. This is for you to keep it and log it and really track what you're doing on whatever interval basis that you want. So here I've got it set up for 7 days. So on a weekly basis, that's when I do it. Call me obsessive, but that's what I do because it makes me excited when I'm able to see that growth. And you can type here whatever metric you want. So you might be, for YouTube, it might be YouTube subscriber. And then this one might be watch hours. And I just use those two because those are the two keys for YouTube monetization. This information right here will be blank. I just put in some dummy data so that you can see it's populating the graph. But I can just go ahead and delete those. No, I'll keep them in for the example, but you'll notice when I delete when I delete them, they go away. I bring them back, they're there. So as you put in your numbers, you can do whatever you want to do. If you realize that so right now this is linking to the year from the annual tracker, and I'll show you where that is in a moment. That'll be the next tab we go to. If you really want to just change that start date, by all means, knock yourself out. So that's the growth tracker. You have space for up to 6. So for up to 6 metrics. So we've got all 6 of those metrics right here for you to look at and do whatever you want to do. There's a whole list. Sorry. I'm so sorry. I'm freaking plugging this. My bad. The YouTube tracker, the essential guide to, I'm so dang on tongue tied. The essential guide to social media content strategy. I do list some metrics. You can also just Google YouTube metrics, and anything that you find interesting and you think you want to plug, then you can go ahead and do that. Cool. All right. Now to the meat, to the heart of what we're doing. All right. And actually, we'll start with the monthly ones first. I think once you see the monthly ones, it'll help better explain what's happening on the yearly overview. So let's talk about the monthly, what's going on over here. So here, this is video 1. So I've got space on here for up to 31 videos. You can see it's kind of going down and down and down and down and down and down, all the way down to 31. Great. All right, so here's what's happening on this top part. Right here, I put beginning subscriber count, ending subscriber count, watch hours, total impressions, and engagement. Over here, these are just metrics if you want to look at them from a monthly basis as opposed to a weekly basis. For my content planner, I do both. I do like to see my growth from a year, from a monthly perspective. I do like a monthly closing type of thing, so I can see that from the beginning of the month to the end of the month of what happened. And that also helps me to assess, like, you can kind of see different spikes, especially on a weekly view, and you can kind of tell which videos did really well and where you saw the most growth. So that's right here. All right, cool. So you'll notice that these are blank. They are blank because they don't have any content in here. Once you populate something, it'll show up, okay? Don't panic. You'll also notice that when I did that, this went from errors to actually having content there. This information is being pulled based on that, okay? So don't panic. It all flows together. You'll also notice that we've got some blanks here. Once you put in your niche, for example, not your niche, sorry, your status, it will show up here. It automatically populates. You'll also notice that these two also popped up because I put this in as well. The purpose does not drive anything. And your B-roll list, it's there for you to type in directly. Because again, that's hugely and highly customized for you and your individual content and your individual setup, because some people could be in the same niche, but they have completely different needs as far as B-roll is concerned. Even within the same content pillar and to-do list, you'll have different B-roll setup. So there's that for you to be able to do that for yourself. And then lastly, you put the date. So it's important for you to put the date that you want to post this. That is going to drive all of the stuff that's on the yearly calendar. So for right now, just put January 10, 2023, just so that we have it. At the top, you can put your title of your video. And we'll just call this, let's go back to that idea tracker. We did new workout bench. So we'll just go ahead and do. I know NordicTrack does not have workout benches, but that's the only company I can think of. Track workout bench review. All right, so here I've got it in there. I've started it. It's in progress. I grabbed my affiliate link. Did I? I did not. I ordered my gear. And then let's say it's sponsored. NordicTrack. This reminds me, hey, I probably need to get that affiliate link and get it in here. But I'll show you what that all looks like. We'll just go ahead and do a dummy one. This is all dummy, but we'll go ahead and do a dummy one so that you can see how all of this works. Then you just put in a description. XYZ, blah, blah, blah. So for the description, I would say for you to think about this as the not boilerplate part of your description. So you'd put your affiliate link down there. Maybe there's anything special that you mentioned that you want to make sure that you're putting in there, and then any kind of like keywords or any kind of that SEO type of stuff that needs to go in the description. So I talked about the boilerplate that goes underneath every single video that you have. That's over there. That's in the setup guide, but then you might have things that are very specific to individual videos. That's where you want to put this, so that when you go to upload, you literally just copy it and paste it from here to where it's gonna go in YouTube. Or if you're using a scheduler, you can plop it right into your scheduler app as well. So that's what that's for. And then if you're doing any kind of scripting, this is all of the space you can do for all of your scripting stuff. For those who do not know, in order to hit enter on the Excel sheets, it's Alt Enter. You have to hit the Alt key and enter. I don't know what that is for Mac. It might be Option and Enter for Mac. But play around with it, but it is possible. Don't be scared. It's doable. So as far as scripting, there are a couple of different ways for you to script your videos. There are some people who literally do not do any scripting. They just like go in there and they just wing it. And some people are really good at that. Some people are not. There are some people who literally script the whole entire word for word script. I don't do that because I noticed that I start to really get bogged down with remembering every single word, and then it no longer feels natural as I'm talking, and it it doesn't work for me. And then there's a third camp, which is what I do, is I'll do bullet points of what I want to talk about, just as to remind me to mention it and talk about that aspect, but I don't have a word for word script. You might also use your script for anything that you want to make sure that you are, that you need to do in your calendar or in your film, in your video. It's not necessarily just for what you're saying. So if there's any other things that you want to remember or remind yourself about on the day of filming, you can also put that there as well. So if you're like doing cooking video and you need to remind yourself, hey, don't forget to mention that, or don't forget to, I don't know, take the chicken out to defrost, idiot. Or I've done that. Like, don't forget to take the chicken out, or don't forget, whatever the case may be. Your scripting is for you to do whatever you want to do. If it's for talking content, if it's to remind yourself to do something else on the day of filming, whatever the case may be, you put that right there. Cool beans. Here you can just freehand your B-roll list. For this particular one, it might be gear while, it might be how gear arrives in box. So you might have a pan over of the box and how it actually arrived to you. Then you might have it open box, gear still inside. So you might have another one where you open up the top part of the box, but the gear is still in there, so you can see all the padding and how it's tied in. And you might have that as B-roll while you're talking about, oh, the box came, it seemed really well packaged. You'll notice that there was a lot of foam packaging. It was all wrapped up, so I didn't see any denting in the box, and I'm really grateful for that. And that'll be your voiceover while you're showing the B-roll of the open box. So the last thing is the affiliate link monetization. So let me go ahead and we'll go in here and we'll put in another link. So we might say Nordic Track Workout Bench, and you have www. Am I spelling Nordic Track right? .com/workout bench, and then it might be something like F, and they give you like random code XYZ Chenier 15. So XYZ Chenier 15. If it's a link, if it's a code, whatever the case may be, you might then say contact person is Johnny Smith at, well, let's not do that, at NordicTrack.com. All right, whatever the case, whatever that is, blah, blah, blah. So I've done that. When I go back into my place where I've plotted that out, I use a drop down, and now I have my Nordic Track workout bench, and it'll pull in my affiliate code. That way I can literally copy it and paste it into my, well, no, I'll put it in here. Sorry. This will go into my description. So that way I don't forget it. It's in there. So then when I go in to now copy it and paste it into my YouTube as I'm uploading the video, it's all right here. I can paste it where I need to paste it, and it's all together and good to go, and it's already done. Because let's be clear, you're making content, but you also need to make money, especially if you're doing it full time. All right, cool. So that is all of that. So let's do a bit of a rundown of some of the other things that are in this on these sheets, and then we'll go into the yearly planner. So let's just look at that. Okay. Going to the top of this, you'll notice I've got links. These links are for individual posts. So you'll notice we're in video 1. Let's say we want to go to video 20. You click on 20, you'll notice, well, you hover on 20 and you'll notice this drop down comment shows up. You click on that and that will take you to video 20. This is for easy navigation because you will notice there are 1,000 lines up and down this thing. And so you trying to find the right spot can be a little daunting. Just click on the link. If you want to go back up to number 1, go click on number 1 and it'll take you right back up there. Cool beans. The date is here so you know where you are as far as months are concerned. They're all right there. You have your link to your affiliate. That takes you to your affiliate page. I'll probably end up, should I put links up here? I don't know, maybe. Adding links to that. You have a link to your idea bank, a link to your metric tracker, and a link to your branding. So for whatever reason, if you need them, they are up there at easy access. And as you scroll down, you'll notice that it's frozen up there. So it's always an easy place to reach for your links for stuff. What else do I want to talk about? Oh, okay. Let's get this thing kind of filled out, and I'll just drop some stuff in here. Meal prep video, nutrition, status is uploaded. And let's just do one more. Let's put a date on it. What I use for this? I use 110. We'll use this one at 1/12, 1/14, 2023, and then 1/16. That's a lot. 1/25, 2023, and it's a workout, niche, fitness, and I am in. Let me see. Upload it. No, okay, let's do this one as not started. Not started. Okay. So now you see I've prepped 3 videos. So I've got 3 different, well, 2. I've got content here. It's all in there. So you'll see that nutrition, apparently I've got 2 nutrition videos, although that is not nutrition. This is nutrition, and we will actually switch this over to, this is fitness. So there we go. Now you can see that we're now starting to see actual content populate. One of the reasons why I have this is because as you start doing your content, and especially if you've got if you do 3 videos a week on a monthly basis, that's 3, 6, 9, that'll be about 12 videos. You can start to see any kind of trends that you might be noticing in your content. Or if you have a specific strategy around the type of content you want to be posting, you'll be able to see that and notice that you're doing that. So for example, with something like this where we've got 5 niches going on and all these content pillars, I can start seeing if I'm outbalanced. So if I notice that, hey, you said you were doing 12 videos, but 9 of those videos were all workout videos, so you didn't do anything really with any of the other stuff. Or I'm noticing that, you're really starting to lean really heavy on nutrition. Do you maybe want to switch up your strategy and focus more on nutrition? Maybe that's really where your love is. Or are you finding that you're struggling to get more stress management related content in? You can really start asking yourself questions about what you're doing with your content and your content strategy. That'll really go a long way with helping you develop that strategy further. What else? You'll notice maybe if you're leaning towards a specific niche as well. And then lastly, this helps you to really think about all of your open projects. And you can start really closing those out. Hey, what do I need to work on? What is still open? What is still pending? That's right there to help you as well. So this is pretty much the overall layout for your monthly tabs. And you've got, again, all 12 of your months, January through December, the whole 9 yards. And again, every single one of them has 31 days. Now, the reason why I put 31 is because I was really thinking about Vlogmas, where the goal is to post every single day. So I was like, okay, I need to make sure I put 31 in there for those people who want to participate in Vlogmas and really need to plan that out, because especially if you are doing Vlogmas, you really need to plan your stuff. There's no way you can just not plan that. So yeah, the last thing I want to mention on this is the very bottom. So this right here is essentially what's controlling these charts. I could have moved them in a separate place, but honestly, it was, well, could I? Anyway, that's down there. Don't touch that or it will break this. You cannot hide it either, but honestly, very few people are doing 31 days of content. So in a month. So that's not gonna hurt anybody. Now, speaking of, if you realize maybe you're in a situation where you want to have 2 separate channels, in theory, you can go ahead and do that, especially if you don't have an aggressive posting schedule for either of those. So if your thing is, hey, I'm posting 12 videos per month on each of those channels, that's only 24 videos. So you'd have more than enough room to do that on this. Your boilerplate, you might not be able to do that in the beginning setup, but when let me scroll back. Your channel description, you probably need to like separate them out, but you can in theory just go ahead and put them in there. And then your niches. So let's say you're doing like a personal channel and a business channel. So you might have your business channel here on one niche and then maybe put your other niche down there. And then you have your content pillars for each of those. Now, if you don't have like any kind of aggressive niching and you maybe only have like 3 or 4 content pillars per niche, then again, you've got more than enough room to be able to do that and manage multiple channels in this one file. Now, if you're doing some super aggressive content strategy and you're like, hey, it's Vlogmas every single month, then you'll have to have different, then you need to set up different templates or different files for those. And again, once you buy it, it's yours. You can create multiple copies within your own Google Calendar and just rename them whatever you need to rename them. And it's totally you. You're paying that one price, and then it's yours to duplicate and do whatever you want to. Cool. Now, let's go back to the yearly file. So you'll notice in here that I've got all of my different videos, those 3 videos that I plotted out. I actually didn't name them. Let's go back and name them really quickly. There's Nordic Track. Then we call this nutrition. So week 2, I think. Meal prep. And then we'll call this one workout ultimate quad workout video. All right, cool. All right, so a couple of things you'll notice. Number 1, you see that this list is auto-populating. I see all of my videos that I've created that I have listed on there, and now I have a whole list of what it is that I'm posting for the month of January. You can go ahead, if this is really annoying you can go back in there if you don't like it saying empty and just delete the one that says empty, and it'll be totally fine. It doesn't break anything. What else? You'll also see that you've now populated the video. So I have my video 2 and it's uploaded. I've got my video 1, it's still in progress. And I've got my video 3, the ultimate quad workout. I haven't started it yet. So you can see I have a calendar now of everything that I've got currently going on. I might have some, and then the bottom part is pretty much blank. So here's what you can do at this bottom part. You might have a video. Let's just create one other video for the sake of video 4. Video 4. Let's say you've got 1/29/2023, and you've got this one's, I don't know, sponsored by what's an idea? Sauna company. Cool. Review sauna, portable sauna, portable sauna video. And maybe just for the sake of it, deadline, maybe go like hard deadline. All right, just for the sake of it. All right, so now I've got that video in here. Video for it. I didn't put a status in there. Let's go in there and put the status in there. In progress. Cool beans. So for here, I've got VO4. It's a hard deadline. It's sponsored video. I can go ahead and in these bottom spaces, I can just go ahead and put some tasks in there. So let's go insert checkbox. You might say, receive portable sauna. All right. I can now go in there and start really thinking and tracking about this one. Okay. And over here you can do set up sauna. And go ahead and right here, script sauna review. And then right here I can do, okay, edit sauna video. So you can kind of see where I'm getting at. You have space to now really plan out your other items, your to-do list for those particular items. Does that make sense? Cool beans. Yeah, that's basically what's happening. And you'll notice again, this pulls in automatically. These right here pull in automatically. You can say this is, you can see it's video 1 and it ties to your video 1. You know what your video 1 is. If you want to set specific goals here, so your goal might be secure 3 sponsored videos. You might want to say, hey, you can put down here if you've got anything due, you know, when you secured it, whatever the case may be. Did you hear back from whoever you need to hear back from? Did you send this email the way you're supposed to send this email? So you can also do this for like any kind of planning that you have to do for your individual content. Cool beans. That's right here. Some things for you to know. If you keep scrolling, again, all of the months are down here from January to December. They're all right here. I've got my quick links at the top. So if I want to go down to March, I click here and it takes me down to March. I can get back to January by clicking on this. Everything is good to go and working. For you to set up your calendar, so you'll notice it says 2023. You can go ahead and change this to 2024, 2025. You can use this into perpetuity. Once you bought it, it is yours to do whatever you will if you want to continue using it. It's totally on you. Again, so you just change this to 2024. And then over here in this block right here, just go ahead and double click and you can change this to, you can either scroll to the first day. You could type it in there, 12/31/2023, and it'll populate. And now the rest of this stuff is now 2024. If you want to do a Monday start, just go ahead and set this to your Monday and you'll notice it pulls in automatically. Cool beans. So you pick the start date. I mean, hell, if you want to start this thing on Friday, you could totally do that. It is up to you. And the numbers will update automatically for you. Okay. Cool beans. What else? Again, you have your links here that will take you to your metric tracker, your affiliate links, the whole 9 yards. It takes you wherever you need to go. So what I'm going to do next is this example will be available when you purchase. So you will get a download that gives you the link to to where you can find this, so you can copy it and save it to your own Google Drive. There will also be a link for an example as well, so you can find, this will be the example, so you have this so you can play around with it as well if that's what you want to do. I am going to also create, so I have other colors for this, and I will constantly, as I feel warranted or the desire to create more color schemes, because I know some folks are like, I don't want the pink. Totally fine. There are more colors available. You will always get a link. If I make any changes or updates to that download file that has those links, I send out a mass email via the company that manages that, and it will let you know that there is an update to that file, so that you can go out and grab it, and the colors will be in that file so that you can find them and drag them and copy them into your Google Drive for you. If you have any issues at all, feel free to reach out to me either via YouTube. I'm on TikTok, on my website, to say, hey, look, I'm having an issue, or whatever the case may be, and I will always answer. If there's anything that's going on with the template and I need to make an update, again, send it to me. I will make that update. I will update the download file, send out a mass email, and in that email I will also mention, in the file I will always mention what was updated. So, hey, I updated new functionality in this file, based on your feedback. Also, if you have feedback on this and say, hey, I love this, but I wish you could add this, totally fine. I have no problem making that update. The way that I work is the file is yours. So any future updates that I make to the YouTube content planner, you've already paid for it, so it's yours. So if I say, hey, I just did this huge overhaul and now it's going from this much amount to this new higher amount, you don't have to pay for it. The update is yours for free because you have the original file, and that's the file that I'm going to be sending out and linking to. So that is another benefit to you as well. Any future updates, you automatically have it. So you're good to go. Cool beans. Is there anything else? I don't have anything else. If you have any questions, again, let me know. Reach out in the comments, and have fun with your YouTube journey. Go ahead and sign up for my emails. I'm constantly putting out information about niches and that kind of thing, so it is there for you to have. Good luck with your content journey. Y'all have a good one. Bye.